Pros and cons of joining an HOA. They get a really bad rap, but nearly a quarter of all Americans are part of one. And those that are actually seem to like them. I'm talking about HOAs. HOA stands for Homeowners Association, and there's over 350,000 of them in the US. Before buying a property that is part of an HOA, you should really do your homework though and make sure it's right for you on a long-term basis. Let's talk about a few of the pros and cons that you might want to consider. Let's start with pros. Pro number one is that your neighborhood will probably look better because of an HOA. An HOA's primary function is to keep the community to a particular standard to protect the property values. And because of this, they'll create and enforce rules about things like lawn standards, paint colors, and other property maintenance and upgrade decisions that you might make. The result is usually a clean and uniform look to your neighborhood. Another pro, this would be number two, is the amenities that come along with your HOA. Things like pools, trails, parks, and other shared spaces can be included in your agreement. These are exclusive to your HOA and are not available to any members of the general public, which a lot of people like. Along with those shared amenities, you can also be expected to share in the maintenance costs. Not only will these shared spaces be maintained by the HOA, but some or all of the lawn care may be as well. In a lot of people's eyes, this is one of the main benefits of being part of an HOA. As you can imagine, not everybody likes to worry about maintaining beautiful landscaping, and that can be a huge relief to a lot of homeowners. Okay, now let's talk about some of the cons. The biggest con probably being the dues for most people. The money to take care of all these beautiful spaces and amenities has to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is your pocket. By entering into an HOA agreement, you'll be legally responsible for yearly dues that keep the HOA running. The amount of these dues will depend on the amenities and the general scope of your HOA. Another con is the lack of freedom that comes along with an HOA. You want to paint your front door red? Nope. How about adding a Four Seasons room? Maybe, maybe not. Get it cleared with the HOA board. Miss cutting your lawn last week because you were out of town? That could be a fine. You certainly aren't free to do whatever you'd like on or to your property, and that can rub some people the wrong way. And finally, the last con is the potential politics that can come into play. If you happen to cross a particular neighbor or an HOA board member, that person might have the ability to make your life really difficult. They can call out or enforce obscure rules, and pettiness can be a tool for revenge. The HOA becomes a vehicle for this. If the paint on your mailbox is chipping, if the grass is 1 inch too long, did you leave your trash can out for 30 minutes too long last Friday? Any vengeful neighbor or board member could potentially cite you for these infractions. If you've got a beef, legal challenges are not uncommon in these instances. However, having said all that, the majority of people who belong to an HOA consider it a positive experience, and over 95% of people have a good relationship with the HOA and the HOA board members. As with most things, the devil is in the details, so make sure you read the fine print several times so you know exactly what is expected of you. Have you got any HOA stories on your own, pro or con? I'd love to hear them. Let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Bye-bye for now.